Started.
Sure.
Wonderful. So thank you everyone for joining us on another Tuesday for Let's Talk About Cancer for our team at the U of A Cancer Center Community Outreach and Engagement. Again, I am one of the cancer health educators here. My name is Gabriela, and I am joined by our special guest, Everk Sanchez, and he is a cancer advocate for the Latinos contra Cancer community with the American Cancer Society. So again, thank you so much for joining us and spending your hour with our community members today.
No, thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for sharing the information, because the more information we share, the more lives we save, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And to start off with our conversation, why did you choose to be involved with Latinos contra Cancer?
You know what? It was something that my life needed at that time. My nephew was going through the experience. He was 22 years old when I met with Latinos contra el Cáncer, um, and he was fighting hard in Amarillo, Texas. And also, we didn't have a lot of information. We were lost as a Latino family. All we knew is that he had a very rare and strong type of cancer. And I remember meeting with David and Marina from Latinos contra el Cáncer, and they were talking about how can I use my abilities with. I used to work with Univision for 17 years, so we were talking about using my career background into and becoming a member of Latinos contra el Cáncer on a comedy, and then I was sharing my experience with my nephew, and they were very touched for the story, and we also created, because of him, a program where we help the Latino community, I'm sorry, without insurance to pay for their treatment to save their lives, and they were very impact, and that's how I met Latinos contra el Cáncer. Since then, I've been just amazed of all the work and the passion the American Cancer Society has.
Oh wow! So even with your experience, you're able to blossom into another helpful resource for others. That's wow, that's very commendable. And
Thank you.
for those that may not be familiar with Latinos contra Cancer, what services does this organization offer?
Well, the American Cancer Society is the largest nonprofit uh, funder of cancer research. Um, it's a nonprofit that has that many programs that we cannot even imagine. Talking about myself, when I met Marina again, and she was telling me about all the programs that American Cancer Society has, I was like, no, how is that possible? Um, Providers, a person, somebody talking to you on the phone. If you need to go and get your treatment, and you have, like, you cannot drive or you don't have a car, they can help you with that. If you have to travel to another city to receive treatment, and you don't have the money, they can help you out with a place to stay during that time. Also, there is a very cool, I say very cool, um, program that they have is the phone line, the 24/7, 365 days a year. uh, you call there, and somebody will answer, and if you have a question, you ask right there. If you just want to say I'm sad, or I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to get a treatment. I do not understand this type of cancer. How can I tell my family that I have cancer? How can I um, receive the news that my son, my daughter have cancer? So that line, I think, is one of the most important programs for talking, like something that did to my family, that helped my family. And we also have a breast cancer support program, hair loss. When a lot of people, when they receive chemos, they lose the hair. Um, so basically, the American Cancer Society is not just research, it's not just saving lives by research, but the programs that they offer, they really really help, which means we use them as Latinos. We use them a lot, and a lot of the Latino community don't know that they exist. So I invite you to go to cancer.org/es, which is in Spanish, or just cancer.org, and find out about all the programs that American Cancer Society has.
Yeah, I'm so happy you bring the aspect of extra resources apart from the research that American Cancer Society offers, because when we speak to our own community members, there's such a disconnect in not knowing that there's so many ways and avenues to receive support communities and to receive other information that is in their own native tongue and in various languages, such as the hotline, which is such an important piece as we all strive to help our community members out the best way we can. And with this, I remember a conversation that I had with one of the mothers that I had spoken to a while back, pre COVID, but she believed that this wasn't offered all around the country, and I try to tell, like, these services are 24/7, not just in it's all across the country. Do you like that, of families saying they can receive services in California, other areas?
Yes, the American Cancer Society offers services in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico. So wherever you are, there is help. Just an easy way to contact American Cancer Society is going through our website, cancer.org. And on the top, I think it's on the left side, on the top side of the website, there is a phone number. And you can call. You can call right there. Hey, I live in Chicago, and I live in Los Angeles. I live in Florida. I live in Phoenix. I live in Denver. So everywhere you are, there is American Society there. American Society ready to help.
And now I'm aware of everything that you've done, because I read up on a lot of the videos that you were online and stuff. But what would you say that the main role you have with contra cáncer, even though you do amazing things?
Thank you. Well, if you notice, my English is not that good, which means I'm more fluent in Spanish. So when Brian, that's my angel now, he's in heaven. When he was diagnosed in 2017 with cancer, it was testicular cancer. I was the first person to know, but he told me, Tio, don't tell anybody. Don't know his reasons. Maybe because he was young. Maybe he was chained. Maybe because they were going to remove that testicle, right, to save his life. So I didn't say anything, but I was the first one, and I didn't know what to do, what to say. If I should talk to my family, if I should talk to my brother and tell him, but I didn't, because it was something that he asked me to do, to not say anything. And then 1 year after, when in 2018, when we received a call again that the cancer moved to the lung, and he was very, very sick. Then I remember having that conversation with me, saying, why you didn't say anything? Why you stayed quiet? Why you didn't tell your brother? Maybe this is happening because you you didn't say anything. And at the same time, I was respecting my nephew's word, and I said no. Well, I was talking to myself, and I was like no, because that's what he wanted. No, but there are a lot of resources that if you call this number, you can get an idea of how to tell your family, how to tell your brother that his son has cancer. So I remember having a very strong conversation with me. And uh, it was at a point where when I said, I wish it was somebody that I can just call and hey, you know what? I'm the uncle and I don't know what to do. Because of that, um, I remember saying, if Brian heals from cancer, if he wins the fight, I'm gonna do something about it, and I'm gonna create something to help Latino families like mine, to help another uncles. And then that's when I met Marina and David with Latinos contra el Cáncer. So I didn't have to recreate a program; it was already there. So I promised to myself to embrace that and to get all the information that I can from Latinos contra el Cáncer, American Cancer Society, and share it with our community. And my role with Latinos contra el Cáncer is just that: educate our community, translating everything from English into Spanish, even if sometimes I do not get it the 100%. I make my questions, and until I'm very sure what I'm gonna say. And we've been helping a lot of families just by sharing the information, by sharing the programs.
And during this time, how do you think being a part of the organization has helped you better understand just the cancer burdens across countless communities in Arizona?
You know what? It is very, I want to say magical. My experience, personal experience. Again, because of my nephew, we created this is not part of American Cancer Society. This is something that we did as a family. We created a program where we used to sell cookies, and each cookie was helping my family to pay bills, because once you have cancer and you have to take care of your family member, then you start losing um, uh, the economics, or you start losing your car because you cannot pay it. You start losing your home because you cannot pay it, because you're almost all the time in the hospital. So we created this program as a family where we used to sell cookies. And with that, after the second time Brian had cancer, it was a lung cancer. I told them, once you are okay, I promise you I'm going to help on other families selling these cookies. And that's what happened. Brian was his cancer was removed by surgery, and 3 days after, I adopted two families, and we started helping those two families. And 5 days after that, cancer came back in the spinal cord. But we still, I said, I'm gonna keep my word, and I'm gonna keep helping other families. So at this point, we've been helping almost for 2 years, about 25 families. So I have 25 stories, 25 testimonials, and 25 ways of how families have having a problem or a barrier to understand cancer, to understand the process. What what is having cancer? It's not just the diagnosis. It's not just, oh, you have cancer and you might die, because that's what sometimes they hear. Oh, you have cancer. I'm sorry. I cannot do anything else. You're stage 4. Go and say bye to your family and enjoy your last days. So it's not just that. It's about all the family, all the pain, all the nights that you're not gonna sleep thinking about it. Obviously, the pain, the physical pain sometimes, Um, so all the stories combined made me a, I don't want to say an advocate, but a bridge of information. So every day, somebody in Spanish, obviously, they come to me and, hey, tengo cáncer, I have cancer, I don't know what to do. So that's where I put all the tools that I collected during these 2 years. And obviously, we use the services of American Cancer Society and other organizations, because it's not just American Cancer Society, right? We cannot do it alone. So my testimonial with cancer will be, I don't know how to explain it, but it is hard. It is hard to get a mom on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram saying, hey, please help my daughter. She has cancer, and doctor said she will die if she doesn't get this treatment, and we don't have insurance. And if I cannot help her because of time, and I know there is no organization um, available, it is hard for me. It is, and it is not just for me. Any advocate out there that is trying to fight cancer with them, as I do, it will be hard. So having cancer is not easy, but helping people with cancer is not easy as well.
And like you mentioned, being the bridge that we try to be to connect people to what they need the most at that moment in their lives. And what many times we encounter is the fact that this isn't just a diagnosis for the individual, but also for every family member and loved one involved, which makes the process even more delicate and tedious. And with that in mind, what do you feel many communities, other communities, just do not understand regarding the challenges that Latino families specifically face after a cancer diagnosis?
Well, the first the first thing that I think they do not understand, not because they don't want to, because maybe they don't know, they just don't know. um, Once they find out, they'll be like, oh, okay. So imagine going to a hospital because you feel some pain, but you do not speak English. So what are you going to do? If you're a mom or dad, you're going to call your daughter or son if you have one. If not, you're going to call maybe a friend. So they will come. You're going to make sure that person talks English, right? To help you out. So, hey, can you take me to the hospital because it's hurting? You're going to say that in Spanish, obviously. So let's say your son, your daughter, your friend takes you to the hospital as a translator. So you get there, and you don't know that you have cancer yet. So you get into the emergency room because you have a lot of pain. Right there, you're just gonna hear blue, 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 blue because you do not speak English. So you're gonna wait there as everybody, and you're gonna get in. If you have insurance, or if it's an emergency, they will take you, and then you are just gonna hear blue, 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 blue because you do not speak English. You're gonna try to understand, but you're not gonna understand. Somebody will come, hopefully, and say, hey, do you need a translator? Oh, see, yes. So our translator will come, or will be over the phone, and they will tell you, let's say that all the test and it was done already, and a doctor will come to the room and will tell you in English that you have cancer. All Everything will be until he says cancer, because cancer, we as Latinos, we understand that word in English, Spanish, any language. Cancer is like, whoa, At that time, you don't know what happened before, and you don't know what's going to happen in the few minutes after that. Why? And this is not for sure. It's just something that all the 25 families told me. When once you hear the word cancer, you're like, boom, like, and I don't think it's just to the Latino community. I think everyone that hears the word cancer, you have cancer, it happens something like that. So you stop listening to what they're telling you because you're cancer, 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 cancer. And then when you wake up 5 minutes after, you're like, okay, so what, cancer, cancer, what? And maybe the translator went away, maybe the doctor went away, everybody went away, and all the information you have is I have cancer. And what do I do with this? Who do I ask? And obviously the translator is not going to be with you the whole day. Maybe if you're lucky, you have your daughter, your son there. Hey, mijo, pregúntale esto, dile esto, tell them, ask them. And maybe son or daughter will be, or friend will be kind of, I don't know, shy to ask those questions. So that barrier of language is very, very, very strong and very difficult for Latinos, for the Latino community. And I'm telling you the perfect scenario without COVID. Now we have COVID. So having cancer with COVID is even more hard. So what about if you call the American Cancer Society line and you tell them, how can I get help in my language? So as you see, um, one of the most I think difficult barriers for Latino community is the language. And once we get that, we know how to look for resources. We know how to fight cancer too. But I think the language will be most of the most the biggest problem for our community to understand and to go um, during this journey.
Yeah, especially yeah with the language of not also someone that isn't familiar with all the medical terms. It's like it hits you like a ton of bricks to your loved one. Absolutely. And you've spoken to so many families throughout your experiences here. Do you ever have the challenge to try to build trust within the cultural aspect and the taboo aspect of trying to navigate this conversation? Because for many families, it's very taboo to even talk about colorectal cancer and the studies with it. Do you find yourself facing challenges with many families that you speak to?
Yes, yes, or I don't want to say everyone because it's not everyone, but I remember one time we were at an event where we were collecting hair at an event, and I was with American Cancer Society. So I was waiting at the table and passing out information, and it was this beautiful um, mother that came to me, and she was like, "Hey, puede venir por favor? Can you come, please?" I was like, "Okay, yeah. Can I tell you something very personal?" "Yes, of course." And then she started crying. Like, okay, well, what's going on? "I have cancer. I've been bleeding a lot. My family don't know. I don't want to tell them because I'm ashamed. What I'm gonna, oh, I don't know how to say it. Hey, guys, I'm bleeding every time I go to the restroom, and I have cancer, and I don't know. I don't know what to say." So that example happens a lot. Like my nephew, don't say anything. Um, Also with the testicular cancer with guys, I don't know why, but we are like, oh, if I say that I have something on my testicles, maybe I might get bullied, or I might feel less man. Don't know, but it is a big taboo. And with the work that American Cancer Society does, it's very, very, very friendly, lovely, and for some reason you open up right away. I remember one time calling to the number that I recommend you guys to save. Not maybe not just for you, but if somebody comes to you and say, "Hey, I have cancer, I don't know what to do," give them that number. Again, cancer.org on the top right side of the screen. I remember calling that number to find a place for my brother, my stepsister, and my nephew that they used to live in Amarillo, Texas. So they had to travel to Houston, Texas to receive treatment. But being in Houston, specifically on the part of the town that the hospital was very expensive. It was like $180 per day to be in a hotel, a small room. So I remember calling the number to see if American Cancer Society could help us out with some days of lodging. And they said, obviously they say yes, and they got me the dates. And at that point, the person was so friendly, so kind, that I opened up with her. And I want to tell you something. I feel really sad and I don't know what to do. I'm the uncle. I know I'm not the father. I'm not the brother, but I feel so sad. And I remember I had a breakdown right there. So um, I think a person that is um, how do I say it? A person that is not just, oh, you have cancer, okay, do this or do that, but a person that receives the emotional hit, the emotional information behind those words. It's I say it's magical. That's what I say is magical. It's having like a miracle um, in front of you. So I don't know how to explain it. It's just very important for all the Latino community to know that there are people trying to help, like you, Gabriela, like you. Doing this will help somebody.
That's certainly our goal as cancer health educators, and I'm sure you can, to at least if we can garner a conversation that brings light and some type of a positive outcome where decides, you know what, maybe I do, I can get screened, and maybe I can tell my friend and my mother and my aunt. It's very, very impactful. Thank you for sharing that with us. And there's a lot that the American Cancer Society does, as we've known, and our team has also experienced. But can you tell us about the experiences that you've had or your team has had at our state capitol lobbying for cancer patients and caregivers?
Yes, well, the American Cancer Society has this Cancer Action Network. Um, we work with volunteers and lawmakers to make cancer how do you say legislativo, uh, legislative.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. Priority. And yeah, we recently held a virtual day with Latinos contra el Cáncer at the Capitol to speak with the elected officials to support tobacco control bills. So our community understand that smoking is not always the best thing to do, right? Access to medications and maintain support to the woman health check, which means the American Cancer Society, the Latinos contra el Cáncer, is not just fighting by having resources to the community. It's not just fighting by doing the research and saving lives through research, but also we understand that we need to be side to side with the persons, with the people, with the officials making decisions. So that's what we take time to do this type of of things, because we know that again we cannot do it alone, and we need to let everyone, not just the Latino community, not just the community that needs help, but everyone, those that don't know about cancer, those that are not never gonna be touched by cancer, which is great, um, about the difficulties and what can we do to lower right the rate of diagnosis of people with cancer. So I think it's a very, very, very important thing to do also as an organization to always be in communication with our elected officials.
And you mentioned also there's a team of volunteers. So how can our own community members join in this mission?
Well, I want to say that we always need volunteers, always, all the time. But you're gonna feel like you want to be a volunteer once cancer gets closer to you. For some reason, that's most of the time what happens, and that's okay. It's perfect. You're very welcome when that happens. But if cancer is not there yet, being a volunteer before cancer gets there, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. And if you one day want to become a volunteer, let me give you the email address. Don't know if, yeah,
That would be
or
great.
let me put it on the chat.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, for our community members to read over.
let's see. Let me see. Okay. So if you want to be a volunteer, you can email her. That's Maria. Gmail. Yes, right there. So we are always looking for new committee members as well as volunteers. So let's say we have an event, so they will help us with the logistics and the event. Also, um, they can help us out by sharing the information about Latinos contra el Cáncer on their Facebook page, Instagram, etc. So if you want to be a volunteer, if you want to be part of the support system, as it says on the screen, please reach to Maria, and she will be happy to include you in our meetings.
Thank you for sharing that email. And I'm glad everyone can have it here. Maria Luisa Gay, to contact her with further questions about volunteering. And one event that I love reading about and seeing on social media that I saw previously is the Baila por la Vida signature event. So can you share with us this highly noted and anticipated signature event and what it does, how you host it, when we can look forward to an event like this, hopefully, and
Right.
after COVID and everything that's been happening?
Yeah, we've been having Baila por la Vida for 2 years, and we have the great experience of having two type of versions: the in-person version and the online version. So it was envisioned by one of our board members and cancer survivor, Vanessa Ramirez, and she wanted to take a spin on an event that American Cancer Society has, which is a relay of life. Um, and she wanted to create something like that, but with the flavor of Latinos, which is a night and dancing and sharing stories. So the event, as you notice, and thank you for watching that, includes culture performances, somebody singing, somebody dancing, an ofrenda, which is a very, very, very nice way to honor our family members, to remember our loved ones that passed away from cancer. Dancing, obviously, and we have not just salsa, merengue, mariachi. So all the music that represents the Latinos are there in Baila por la Vida. all funds that are raised there go towards our programs, services, life savings research. But due to COVID, again, we had to transform that from in-person event to an online event, which is it was a it was not easy, but we made it happen. So this year will be the third year that we have it. I want to say hopefully COVID goes away. Don't know if it's gonna happen by the time we have Baila por la Vida número tres, but for sure you're gonna have fun. So Baila por la Vida is that it's not just cancer is not something sad. It's not just hey worry about it. No, cancer is also life. Cause cancer is also hope. So we celebrate that. And if your family member passed away from cancer, we want to honor that too. And let's do an ofrenda, which an ofrenda for el Día de los Muertos. It's like putting a picture, his favorite food, his favorite drink, in a special place with a candle. And so we do a lot of those in the ofrenda, and then we celebrate and we dance. And I'm not saying we're happy because we have cancer or we're happy because my family passed away from cancer, but we are celebrating their life, what they did in life.
Yes, I think hopefully I think I can speak for many people when I say I think we all need a nice celebration where we can dance and hopefully see smiling faces again in the future. So it's exciting that although it has to be remote, we can look forward to maybe year 4 when we can all get together again and celebrate this in the future. And for the other events that y'all have been planning, is there anything else that you wanted to share with our community members? Something else to look forward to of the community events?
Yes, we have a health and wellness open mercado on March 14 at Fair. What is the name of it? It's Fair. Let me see. I put it here. Fair Trade Cafe, just because I don't want to say it wrong. At the parking structure in downtown Phoenix. Um, and obviously we have our charlas de salud. Charlas de salud. It's also like what you're doing right now. Um, and we do it on our Facebook page. We go live every month with a topic or something that we talk about. Let's say we're going to talk about cervical cancer, and we invite experts. We have maybe one or two family members or one or two families going through that experience, and we just talk about it. And it's just a charla de salud, and what we do as American Cancer Society, Latinos contra el Cáncer, is to project the problem, the issue, the barriers, how the expert will handle those things. And we as an organization, we provide, so if we can, the information that they need. So the community watching and listening can use that information to help themselves. And so we have those charlas de salud and or health and wellness open mercado, which is a really cool event too. So you're invited. Remember, March 14th.
March 14th. And correct me if I'm wrong. Did I hear you say Fair Trade Cafe right downtown?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I love Fair Trade. Latina owned. It is a wonderful place. Let's support our local businesses. That's exciting. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
And now, as we've learned, and hopefully our community members can continue to learn from you and all that you do as a relentless advocate for so many, what do you feel motivates you the most to continue to fight for this cause?
Sometimes, as a human being, I get tired, and I say, okay, I'm gonna rest today. I'm not gonna do anything today. I'm not gonna open the Facebook or social media. I'm gonna just rest today. But a little vocecita, little boys, telling me, "Hey, I know you're resting, but you know what? There is somebody that needs help today, not tomorrow, today, hours, has hours to receive treatment. And for some reason, I open my phone and there's somebody there asking for help. So because of that, I I don't go away from social media now. And because I understand that it might be Everk calling or reaching out saying, hey, my nephew has cancer, I don't know what to do. So when I called the line, the 24/7 line of American Cancer Society, um, I remember not having that thought of saying, oh, they're not going to answer. I was sure that they were going to answer, even if it was the first time. So I want to create the same thing to the people reaching out to me or to any members of the Latinos contra el Cáncer. I'll be there. I'll be there. If I'm not there, send me a WhatsApp or send me a text message, or but I will answer as soon as possible, because I think one of the main uh, and more important things that goes against cancer is time. So you might have the treatment, you might have the facilities, you might have the technology, you might have the doctor, you might have all the support system that you need. But if you don't have time, then you don't have anything. So taking the time and making it the most important thing when somebody has cancer, I think for me it's what wakes me up every morning. I know somebody needs help today, and I know that person will reach to us through the Facebook page of American Cancer Society, Latinos contra el Cáncer, or through my page, through your page. But somebody needs help today, not tomorrow.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Now that we're nearing the end of our conversation, what advice would you like to share to Latino communities who may be struggling with a cancer diagnosis?
Please stop telling yourself what you and this is gonna sound ruthless, or maybe it will be some rude words there. But please stop thinking the way somebody else think about cancer. Touch your chest, your heart, and tell yourself that there is hope. Never stop fighting, even if an oncologist is telling you something. That oncologist is an expert and it's a professional, but sometimes they're human beings, and for some reason, and it's not just the oncologist, but for some reason something happened that the information was wrong. So if they're telling you that you're not gonna make it, don't stop fighting. Always remember that there are resources, and there is a Latino out there that speaks English that can help you translate. That there is a Latino there that don't know, and he doesn't know you, but he's willing to help you out. Um, Also, stop. Please stop saying like, esos son unos inútiles, no ayudan, because they didn't answer the first time. Because that's something that I hear a lot. No, you no ni ayudan. They don't help. What? How do you know they don't help? Because they didn't answer. No, having cancer is fighting and making 10, 20 calls to the same clinic, to the same hospital, to the same person, and another 20 to another facility or doctor. So that's having cancer. It's being patient. It's being also remembering that there are a lot of patients with cancer that are being stressed, that having pain and calling and waiting in line sometimes it's frustrating. So if you understand that, you're gonna do yourself a favor, and you're gonna be able to have that peace inside of you, and you're gonna fight it. You're gonna fight cancer uh, in the smart way. So please be patient. Never stop fighting. and never stop looking for resources. Never stop looking for answers. If you do not understand the language, the terms that the doctors or somebody else uses with cancer, the cancer terminology, um, hey, get a pen and get a paper, and can you write it down so I can look online what it is? Because if you're just saying yes, 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 I understand, and then they go from the room, they go away, or you hang up, and you have more questions, then that's a stress, and that stress will go into your family, and your family will not like that, and you will not like that, and then cancer starts being a bad experience. So having cancer should unite your family. Having cancer should be loving the time that you have, not otherwise. So that's my advice. Just keep fighting, be patient, and understand that this is a hard fight. It's not an easy fight. It's a hard fight, but you can win, and you will win.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Thank you for that. You know, that it leads me to just truly thank you for your time, for being with us today, for everything that you continue to do and work towards for so many people and families. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you feel also the love and support onto yourself, because it's not easy, just like you said, but it's very important. So thank you again for your time. We in our next slide, we also have if anyone just has any following questions that would like to reach out, please let us know. We have evaluation forms here for understanding what else our community member wants to hear about. And we also have our image displayed there is an opportunity to win this item with our drawings that we have every month. So we have those evaluations in the chat. And if anyone has any further questions for us that would like to contact us via email or on our social media, happy to help you all out. But for the time being, thank you again for everything. Thank you again for being with us, and we hope to see you soon. We have a message in the chat, so we appreciate again your time.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. On behalf of all my community members of Latinos contra el Cáncer, thank you for the time. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit more of Latinos contra el Cáncer. We know that we need, and it's urgent that we need to get the information out there in Spanish, in English, any language. Cancer, it's everywhere, right? Sadly. But thank you for the time. Thank you, everyone, for sharing the information. And if you need something, we'll be there. We'll be there for you. Thank you.
Gracias, Everk. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you again for your time. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.